Afternoon, it's Sunday the 4th of March and we've just been Labour Doorstepped. The reason we're posting this is there was an interesting admission by a Labour councillor when Nicola spoke to them this morning. But for a bit of background, we live on a social housing estate in South London. It's managed by Clarion Housing Group, which used to be formerly Affinity Sutton. And lots of residents on this estate have concerns about regeneration and social cleansing. The reason they have concerns, there are the telltale signs there, if you like, that moves are afoot. Firstly, a lot of the properties are falling into quite a bad state of disrepair. There's issues across nearly every property that is managed by Clarion with extreme damp. There's issues with asbestos. There's issues with central heating that go across a lot of properties. You can't have a temperature in your property in between 0 degrees and 26 degrees. It's either extremely hot or it's extremely cold. The same issues. So the estate's falling into disrepair. There's issues with communal areas which aren't being addressed. And Clarion, another example is we used to pay our water rates directly to them. Last year, they ended their contract with Thames Water and we now pay directly to Thames Water, which is something that you've seen across a lot of estates in London which have been regenerated. They get rid of any utility contracts they have. So lots of residents have concerns about this. The two Labour councillors know this and they have background information on residents' concerns. So we put some questions to Labour councillors this morning and here are the responses they gave on the doorstep. Watch out, I think it was about 3.5 minutes in, there's an extremely interesting admission from one Labour councillor about what is happening at Central Hill, an estate in Labour-led Lambeth local authority, which is currently slated for regeneration. There's been a big fuss about that, and a Labour councillor from Bromley, which is literally on the border with Central Hill, makes a very interesting admission. It's worth watching. But see what you think. We weren't impressed with their answers. Angela Wilkins, who's one of our local councillors, we do like her. We think she's a really nice person. However, their hands are tied and it shows, to be honest. So see what you think of our Labour doorstep. Are we voting Labour? Jury's out.
Oh, sorry. Hello. Hello. We've got council elections coming up in May and we'd like to get Angela and Marina elected. So
Angela and Marina?
These are the Labour candidates for Crystal Palace. So
could you I'd actually like to find out from you, if possible, whether or not you know with regards to what's happening to the estate and whether or not this estate has been socially cleansed or not?
I wouldn't have thought so, but if you just hold on a moment. Angela?
Because I have I sent an email to Ellie Reeves and I have had nothing back other than a standard response.
How long ago did you email Ellie?
This year.
Right, okay. Well, Angela is one of your local councillors.
She knows us.
And
she's,
so
I've spoken to Angela a few times because my mum's a waspy lady and has had nothing but problems. Hello, you. Yes, absolutely shattered. We were out, I don't know if you saw. I'm shaking at the minute, it's because I'm about to come out of bed. I'm in a really bad way. Basically, I haven't had any response yet from Ellie Reeves over this estate. Literally just a standard response. We're not getting any. We've been completely.
Well, we're waiting to. The councils have there's a team of 5 neighbourhood officers who look after most of the.
Just need to spend that.
Yeah, that's fine. And there are 2 vacancies in there for about 2 posts unfilled for about 9 months.
Really?
Because there's a lady who Topple once suggested this, and I'm quite totally happy to do it ages and ages ago, to get them and the Clarion to do a walkabout. Because at the moment, what happens is you get the council saying, oh no, that's the housing association's responsibility, and vice versa, which is passed on back. But there's no point until we get these officers in post, to be honest with you. So, because nothing will happen unless somebody follow it through. So,
well, there are other candidates that are prepared to fight through. I mean, there is obviously like there's Green Party candidates that I know are prepared to speak out openly against social cleansing, but the trouble is with Labour, a lot of people don't even understand what's happening. They're unaware of what Lambeth are doing.
Well, we do. I mean, we are.
I know you're aware, but people knocking doors don't even seem to understand the difference between social cleansing and affordable housing. And this is what we're trying to get clarification as residents here as to what is going to happen on this estate, because literally less than half a mile up the road in Lambeth with a Labour councillor, my friends on Central Hill, their whole estate's going.
That won't happen in Bromley, I don't think, because the council wouldn't be driving anything like that.
Well, it's carrying anyway, to be honest with you. It's not.
This last time we spoke, I think the meeting was set with Affinity Sutton, and then obviously there's now been this takeover. So I didn't know whether there's now plans for another meeting and whether or not there'd be anything public, because if there is, we'd like to come down and obviously publicise it, find out what's going on.
Well, I mean, Ellie could. She and I had a conversation about holding a housing event, but it was more around. It's more around the problems that people got with repairs and problems with maintenance on the estate and maintenance and properties generally.
As you know, this plastic gluey stuff, the reason why this looks like this is because the tiles that I moved in and that were originally there were asbestos tiles. I only discovered this in 2011 because Affinity Sutton were not allowed to let their bathroom contractors into these properties to redo the bathroom without there being an asbestos check. They then discovered through that check that my tiles were the original asbestos tiles, along with this ceiling all being asbestos. And that's away from the damp. And if you put your hand here on my radiator, at the moment I've got either 0 degrees or 26 degrees heating, because it will not allow me to turn it down. So we're coming from minus temperatures into 20, 60, and I'm sitting here wondering why I'm struggling to get out of bed at the moment.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're just carrying are just massive. It's just
they're getting bigger and bigger. It seems.
It gets more and more difficult to find someone who's actually going to take the interest. And although you say that other people speak out, but we'll speak out, but we don't want to just be shouting. We want to be speaking to the right people about the right things,
No, of course,
So that's
it has got to the point now where I think the residents themselves need to be heard. Because again, what concerns me is people that are getting involved in this aren't fully understanding what's happening and are fighting for repairs or are fighting for affordable housing, and it's actually at the detriment of the original residents and quite often Londoners that are getting shipped out of London. And that's the sort of the underlying issue.
Well, we proposed because Bromley took on this scheme that they're buying properties to house people in temporary accommodation, might be on a long-term basis, but a lot of it's going to be outside the borough, and we had to support it in principle in the sense that we need the homes, but we did oppose the fact that most of them are going to be outside the borough. Until we start building more houses, more council houses,
and get more Labour councillors.
It's not going to happen.
Of course.
Nice to see you anyway.
And you. Take care. See ya. Not impressed, really. Angela Wilkins is a lovely person, I'm not going to lie. She's been here on a personal capacity and helped my mum, who's a waspy lady, who's had nothing but grief from Bromley Council. The 4 of them, my mum and my 2 brothers and my dad, are now all living on my dad's pension. My brother has finally managed to get a barmaiding job somewhere, and my brother Richard, who suffers from the same ME symptoms that I suffer from, he doesn't leave his bedroom. So that's 2 households, again, on this estate, none the wiser, getting no support from really anybody. You've got good people dotted about that want to do good things, but they can only take it so far because, again, their organisation, their position on this is, oh, well, we'll support a bit of it, but not all of it. And where does that leave your everyday person? That's Labour for you.
You see, I disagree. I think they were just palming her off and they don't really give a shit, but, that's Labour for you.